Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back to the Cashline. Y'all know what it is. This is the D to the L to the N. The dlnsports. This is that DFS site you can come to get your daily fantasy picks to help you get to that cash line. We're going to jump right into the format of the show. You know, we got the Cavs in Boston tonight. Excited about that. Excited about seeing my Cavs tonight. Try to end that series and get this championship thing started. So excited, me and my boys gonna get together and do what we do. You know what I'm saying? And have a good time doing it. Had my first nice baseball night last night. Went with that Detroit stack, which just didn't turn out that good for me with the Avila, the Cabrera, and Ian Kinsler. Didn't turn out, but I had that pitcher from Los Angeles Angels, that Nolasco. He had 21 fantasy points, helped me out there. I had that Turner, shortstop from Washington Nationals. He got me 21 fantasy points, really helped me out there. And then I had that big baller, the shot caller, the slate changer, baseball, y'all, yeah. Had 53 fantasy points and took me to the cash line, like literally took me to the cash line. So I won me a couple bucks last night. And when I say couple bucks, I mean literally a couple bucks. You know what I mean? But I ain't been winning at baseball, so it was a good night for me. Now tonight I'm going right back to that Detroit Tigers stat, but I'm going with Avila, Cabrera, and Martinez, and I got a little bit of that Houston in there without Altuve. He tears the skin off the ball, and that Carlos Beltran trying to get that low ball. That's like one of the butt squeakers, so you say. Pitcher, I got that Pomeranz up in Boston. That Red Sox, that's a pitcher friendly park. It's hard to get that ball out up there, so I went with the Boston pitcher. And my one-offs, I got that Owings and Puig from the Los Angeles Dodgers, because that boy, when he goes, he goes. But he goes dead a lot too. But when he goes, he goes. So looking forward to that baseball tonight. Try to keep that streak going. You know what I mean? Like I say, especially if you ain't really too used to it, you want to stay in them single entry tourneys and just play them single entry tournaments. You know what I'm saying? Where you're not matched up with somebody who's putting 50, 25, 100 lineups in. Them single entry tournaments where you got people everybody gets one shot at it. If there's 1,000 people in a tournament, everybody gets one shot at it, one lineup, and let's go. And I feel like with my research and me doing it and the shows that I watch and the things that I do to help me research and the research I do on the computer and things like that, I feel like I can put one lineup up against anybody. You know what I mean? And go with it and not have a problem with it. And so we're going to go jump into that NFL power rankings, y'all. Like I said, we jump right into it with the last place team, and that's the New York Jets. And they're terrible. They need help all over the place, and we both know that. We all know that. So they're going to need help all over the place. At 31, we got the San Francisco 49ers, y'all, with that new John Lynch and Mike Shanahan, coach. He's coming in being the coach, trying to do his thing, and they bamboozled the Bears out of that number 2 pick. Because the Bears was at 3, 49ers were at 2. Bears gave up a lot to move up one spot to get Trubinsky when the 49ers wasn't going to take Trubinsky anyway. So they bamboozled him. And so John Lynch and Mike Shanahan did their thing as far as that goes. And then at 30, we got the Bears. Like I said, they took that Trubisky boy at quarterback. He could turn out to be good. They got that Mike Glennon, so he'll be behind Mike Glennon at first unless he gets hurt or plays terrible, and then they'll get a shot at him. We got my Cleveland Browns, y'all, at 29. And we brought that boy in, Deshaun Kaiser, in the second round to play quarterback. So look like he'll be playing behind Brock Osweiler unless he gets hurt or something, man. We'll see how that, because I'm itching for a quarterback. Just because I'm hollering all this calf stuff and championships, it ain't like that up here. The Ohio, we ain't been winning nothing. Besides our Buckeyes, before LeBron came, we ain't won nothing. Please believe it. I've been a fan all my life of all of them and watched some terrible games and some terrible seasons. So this LeBron thing is a beautiful thing, and my Indians turning around is a beautiful thing. But my Browns is, hey, let's move on. At 29, we got the Rams moved and got that Jared Goff boy they're trying to get going this year and try to get him going and see how that thing turns out. At 27, we got the Jaguars, y'all. They brought in Leonard Fournette out of LSU, that running back. He's a good pickup. He's a straight ahead runner. I think it translates to the NFL. A lot of them running backs don't translate to the NFL, but I think he does. For instance, Trent Richardson. When we got him, I jumped up and down, and I ain't seen him yet. So to move on from there, we got your Buffalo Bills at 26. With the new coach, with Sean McDermott, new coach. So they're kind of flipping, flopping, and trying to see what they're going to do. At 25, we got the Philadelphia Eagles with that Carson Wentz boy, who the Browns passed up on last year. Yeah, we passed up on him. We did it again. You know what I mean? So, but they got them a future quarterback in that Carson Wentz. That boy throws the ball. At 24, we got the Detroit Lions, y'all. That's that Matthew Stafford thing. You know what I mean? Calvin Johnson's gone. He's been gone. And so they're that 8-8 team, always 8-8. So we got to see if they can break out of that rut. At 23, we got the Minnesota Vikings. And the Vikings, they got rid of Adrian Peterson. I think he went up there to the New Orleans Saints. They brought in that Dalvin Cook to replace him at running back. So and Teddy Bridgewater's gone. So we got to see how they pan out. You know, we got, and then at 22, we got the Indianapolis Colts. And then Indianapolis Colts, they brought in that Malik Hooker, safety, hard-hitting safety. But until they get that offensive line get together for Andrew Luck, it ain't going to mean nothing because they're going to shorten that boy's career because he gets killed back there like every season. I don't know what they're doing. They got to get an offensive line or it don't matter where else they draft because Andrew Luck is getting killed. He gets hit just as much as any quarterback in the league, him and Cam Newton. Now, at 21, we got the Texans who brought that Deshaun Watson in, Super Bowl ready team. They got a good defense. They got the receivers. They got that Hopkins boy, he out of Clemson, Watson from Clemson. So I'm expecting big things out of Houston Texans, y'all. They're going to get that J.J. Watt back, and it's going to be a problem. That team going to be a problem. And Deshaun Watson went to the right place because if he came to the Browns, we might have got him killed. You know, that offensive line. Whew, I know when the Browns didn't take him, he had a big sigh of relief. Please believe it. We got the Baltimore Ravens, my arch rival, my enemies. They took the Browns and moved up there and drafted Ray Lewis and won a Super Bowl. What type of shit is that? You know what I mean? So let's just move on from the Baltimore Ravens. I don't even want to talk about them. San Diego Chargers, you got that Phillip Rivers thing. You know what I mean? So they going through their same little thing. They get 4 or 5 games win, and then they lose 4 or 5. They about to play in the playoffs, and they lose. And so you know what that is. At 18, we got that Washington Redskins deal still there. They lost 2 receivers. They lost Deshaun Jackson, I think Garcon too. They're going through that stuff with Kirk Cousins for the contract. So we got to see how that shakes out. At 17, we got Cam Newton, them coming off 2 years ago to Super Bowl and then a terrible year. So they're regrouping, trying to get back to them playoffs, but they're going to be a good team. At 16, we got the Titans with them 2 running backs back there, that DeMarco Murray and that boy out of Alabama, some slam ahead runners. And I think they're gonna have a good season. At 15, we got the Cincinnati Bengals with that AJ Green and them, and they still that other Ohio team. They're still gonna do what they do. So we know the real big changes. So we got to see what they're gonna do. We got the Fort Broncos at 14. See how they're gonna do with that Trevor Siemian and Paxton Lynch thing. Seeing if they're gonna pan out or not. So we got to wait and see how that pans out. At 13, we got the Saints, y'all. New Orleans Saints brought in that Adrian Peterson and Drew Brees still there. He's older, but they got to get that defense together or it don't matter. It don't matter. They can always score points, but they got to get that defense together. At 12, we got the Miami Dolphins, one of them back and forth teams, so we got to see how that pans out. No big thing changed. They got that Ndamukong Suh. They got a good defense, but they got to see what they got in Ryan Tannehill. At 11, we got the Kansas City Chiefs with Alex Smith. They're going to be a good team. They brought in that Patrick Mahomes. So we got to see how that turns out because he's going to be Alex Smith's replacement. At 10, we got Cardinals with Carson Palmer getting older. They're going to be a good team. They're going to be solid. So we'll see how that turns out. Now, the Dallas Cowboys, you got, that Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott, they're going to be a good team. And they're going to make the playoffs probably. And we got to see how that turns out. As long as don't nobody get in trouble because Dallas, them boys get caught doing stuff all the time. I don't know what this party house up there. At 8, we got the Buccaneers with Jameis Winston. Going to be a good team. Going to be a good year for them. They finally got him some help, some receivers. So I got a lot of hopes for Tampa Bay this year. Now at 7, we got the Oakland Raiders. Derek Carr. They're going to be a good team. They're one of my favorites for this year. Bringing in Marshawn Lynch, and they got one of the second best offensive line in the league. They're getting their defense together. Oakland Raiders, keep your eye on them, y'all. Number 6, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers, my arch rival. They brought in T.J. Watt, J.J. Watt's brother. So that's going to be a problem, but I don't want to talk about Pittsburgh too much. They've killed me for years now. New York Giants at 5, good team. Eli Manning, Super Bowl ready. They should be ready to roll. The Seahawks at number 4, good team. They should be ready to roll. Now, when you get to these top teams, they're ready to go, y'all. At 3, you got your Packers with Aaron Rodgers. You know what that means. At 2, you got your Falcons. I think they ranked a little high. I don't think they're going to have that good of a season, but it is what it is. And at 1, you got the Patriots, Tom Brady, them Super Bowl champs. You know what I mean? You ain't got to say nothing about the Patriots. They win Super Bowls up there all the time. So that's the NFL podcast, the NFL Power Rankings. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Like I say, I'm back on that baseball tonight, y'all. And make sure you follow me on Twitter, Dan at dlnsports. Share, like, follow, subscribe. Everything's free. On YouTube at DLN Sports, the Cashline. And hit me on that Facebook, y'all. I got the closed group. Hit me on that Facebook at Dan Nicholson. And I'll throw you into the DLN Sports, the private chat line, and it's a closed group, and you can get in there and help you really get to the cash line when you get in there, because we chop it up in there. It's free. You know what I mean? All of us trying to get to that money, and only thing, you know, once one of us hit for that 10, 20, 30,000, 50,000, 100 stacks, you know what I mean? We share the wealth. You know what I mean? So, but like I say, it's free to get in. We chop it up, and ain't no pressure or nothing like that, and we do our thing. So thanks again for tuning in to the Cash Line, DLN Sports. Y'all know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Everything's going good. I appreciate everything. And let's go get this money tonight. Baseball, y'all. Yeah, baseball. And then we jumping right into the NFL Prime. And I'm going to have the whole site set up where you can see the stats and the numbers and all that type thing. So I appreciate y'all turning in. Let's go get that money. Cash Line, y'all.